me, keep a 20 on me, case emergency. Ain't no cap in my rap. Really, I know it's the truck. More profit mean extra. Emerald white off of the pressure. That cereal milk smoking right. But that Obama rant some special. Kansas City, I'm a chief. Shout out to K5 on this one. Country thinking I was hustling. I always had it on me. Booming like OJ the Juice. Till a nigga told on me. From now on, it's relentless. Ain't no love, we ain't friendly. If she want me on him. Know the law, she get the business. Know the law, still the motto. Empire.
Yeah. Hello. Welcome in. This is Birds of a Feather Podcast with your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And this is episode 72. Ref, throw the flag. Yeah.
Please.
So, the Falcons coming off a devastating loss versus the Chiefs. And I don't even think it would seem as bad if we weren't truly felt cheated. 22-17 down in the Georgia Dome. Every single inkling told me that we were going to win that game. So, before we get into that one, just going to do just a couple quick recaps, some highlights in Atlanta sports and whatnot, and then we'll go ahead and get into the game. First things first, follow us. We need more YouTube followers so that we can go live on YouTube. That's BOAF Media. Follow us, subscribe on YouTube. But as for now, our after game lives will be on Instagram. So follow us, BOAF Media, on Instagram. Send it to your friends. It should simulcast on Facebook. Think they're connected, but yes, follow us on Instagram. Definitely gonna see if we can get that uploaded on the Facebook page as well. But YouTube obviously provides more interaction with the fan base and whatnot. So go ahead, follow us on YouTube so we can get that live stream going on YouTube. That's first and foremost. Last week, just under the weather, life kind of happened. We were unable to record, so just a quick recap of that Eagles game. Obviously, that's when we found out that we couldn't go live. So for everyone who was looking for it, weren't able to, which we found out the next week. We went live after the Chiefs game. That Eagles game was not an overly good game, but it was really good at the end. And our big time players and big time plays in those moments. And Kirk really stepped up. The defense stepped up. Jesse with the late interception. A lot of hype is worn off for that game, but I think it just deserves at least a little bit of conversation from us. That game kind of felt like it saved our season. I think after 3 weeks, after looking at the schedule, everybody was kind of like, we could be 1-2. But I think the one everybody thought we could win was
the Steelers.
Yeah. So, to lose that one, it was a very real possibility with 90 seconds left in that game that we would be 0-3. I think 1-2 after 3 weeks doesn't feel as bad after winning that game. So, they're just speaking on that one real quick. What you got on the Eagles, bro?
I like what we did. I like the plan. I like the fact that Zach. I'm gonna call him Zach again. He's shown that he's willing to grow. So I'm not gonna call him Zachary. I'll call him Zach. But he put together a competent game plan. The run game looked better. The play action is like, so first play of the game, you going play action under center. Okay. None of all week one.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you said following week one was really present in my mind, and I saw it even more in the Chiefs game, is that a lot of the frustration that I have about the competence of the offense really needs to be mitigated by the fact that he has never called plays before.
Yeah.
Right. And so a lot of the time, not that you're just throwing it against the wall to see what works, but he's going to grow and progress as a play caller, and we got to be patient with that. I think that was one of the reasons it was so frustrating with Arthur Smith, was because you were a 3-year play caller, and you saw when you went to the Steelers, you know how to tailor an offense to your quarterback. So it's just when you're in control of everything, you can't do it. All right, cool. Because you were really competent play caller. But for Zach Robinson, helping put the plans together, helping put the game plan all in place is different from being in the fire and calling the game or calling the plays on game day.
Yeah. Yeah. So So he showed me growth from week 1 to week 2, certainly. Because I mean, like he's no different than a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Like so
Yeah.
like I feel like a pretty good chunk of the fan base had these grandiose expectations for a dude that has never called plays. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna be top 5." I'm like, I think we're gonna be good, and he's shown that it's in there. It's definitely in there. Um, he still got to learn the nuance, still got to get a better feel for the game, still has to learn how to get the ball, he still has to learn how to manufacture the touches to his playmakers. But
I'm not going to lie to you. He is using London far more than Arthur Smith ever did. And maybe that's London being healthy, being more engaged, being part of the offense, and having a competent quarterback. But I can't. How many times last year were we betting on London? Get me 32 yards. You know what I'm saying?
we were getting it on London. It was Pitt we weren't getting it with.
The Pitt wasn't getting nothing either. So yeah, Pitt didn't look too great after the Eagles game, but we'll get into the Chiefs one. In other Atlanta news, we got the Braves. My guys, y'all are dangerously close to missing the wild card. They need to win out. They've got a series versus the Mets, who currently hold the wild card spot. Come on, y'all, get in. Because I think what pissed me off is 2 years ago when y'all were the number 1 seed and y'all lost to Philly, right? Bryce Harper came in there and took your cookies. And then last year, you fell off a cliff late in the season. You cannot go 3 years in a row with just like winner take all situations and choking after winning the World Series. In a year, a lot of people already devalue in their mind, right? So like COVID championships, I think a lot of people look at it like, okay, it was a weird time. The world was crazy. Like the Dodgers won their championship there, right? The what's it called? The Lakers won their championship there. If you look at 2021 champions in almost every sport, they're like an anomaly right now, right? Like the Rams hadn't been back to nothing.
Yeah.
The what's it called? The Bucks hadn't made it out the second round, and the Braves, like. And that was the year everybody, because all the seasons got pushed back, everybody had a shortened season and schedules were crazy and whatnot. And then, so it kind of feels like you can only win under an asterisk condition. You know what I'm saying? And so I really, really want a solid, decent postseason. I'm not even saying a World Series, but just like a solid divisional show.
Yeah, just
right?
Just get us in there.
Take somebody 5 games. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So I just want to just backtrack a little bit to the Drake London thing. So it's not that Arthur Smith didn't know how to use him, because he had more targets last year through 3 games. It's just the quarterback.
Yeah. Like I said, it could have been just competent quarterback play. That it'll mask a lot. The last piece of Atlanta news, if y'all following me on Twitter, y'all seen it. I got daughters, and so I will always and forever support the WNBA. And our dream looked. I'm not going to get too deep into the weeds on this pod in this forum. That might be just like a separate episode that I drop. But what we look like in that game going down the stretch, we didn't deserve to win the dream. We didn't deserve to win. And I think it speaks a lot to how our team is constructed. Now, don't get me wrong. Stewie's amazing, right? Stewie's amazing. She gonna eat down low. But like consistently switching Ryan Howard down her and then expecting Howard to be your main offensive engine on the other end was really irritating and frustrating when what was working for you at the beginning of the game was really playing number 7. She's skipping my mind right now. Letting and pushing Stewie as far out the paint as possible. If she backs you down on 3 dribbles and gets it in there, that's fine. But then that doesn't allow Ionescu to just go off on threes. And what are you going under on screens on Ionescu for? It was you're going under on screens on Sabrina. It just overall it did not make sense for the game plan, and you wasted 2 really amazing performances. It just overall, I was really upset on how they lost. But New York was the better team. I'm not tripping on New York was the better team. But I thought they would win one and get them back to Atlanta. But 2-0 loss, good season. I don't know draft wise if you even add a player in the draft this year. Like you're going to draft somebody, but I don't know if they like make the roster. I don't feel like our roster is bad, but that could that'll be a deeper dive later. But just wanted to give a shout out to the girls, to the women. I mean, of the W. Really good late season push, getting into the playoffs as the 8 seed, and then, hey, things happen. You were an underdog, but y'all went out there and fought, so appreciate it.
They did. I can't really speak too much to it because I don't watch much of it, but
I know. It's a me thing, bro. Like I always want to, I think it is important in all sports to see yourself. Right? Like that's why I think black quarterbacks are important, right? So like it helps little black boys to know like you are good enough to play the quote unquote cerebral position, right? For a long time, they didn't think black guys could be point guards, right? Because like that's the most cerebral position on the basketball floor.
Yeah.
But now it's it's almost exclusively. And some of the best high IQ point guards that you think of are African American, right? So like I think the same thing about, young ladies looking up to the women who play basketball or women's volleyball, sports like that. Like seeing yourself in sports I think is important. So always want to get that shout out.
I can agree with that.
Going into last week versus the Chiefs. We discussed this a bit on the live, but just really, really delving deep, getting into the weeds of it. 22-17 loss. The highlights of the game, Kirk was 230, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Bijan had about 50 total yards. Obviously, he had the late play. Pitts, he was at 60 yards, should have been at 74. We're going to get into that one. But the defense played well. You got Justin Simmons, who basically has a beat on Pat Mahomes. They scored 22 points, but that was, if I'm not mistaken, 15 points in field goals. They scored 1 touchdown or 2? Hold on.
2. Rasheed Rice had 1 and Juju had 1.
Yeah, they scored 2 touchdowns, but then they went for 2 in a situation and they had 3 field goals. Yes. They went for 2 in a situation, they had 3 field goals. Right. Let's look. Special teams. Yep. 3 for 3 on field goals with a long of 53. So they went for 2 in a situation, had 3 field goals. So I scored 22 points. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I feel like our defense played well. I feel like our defense played well.
It was on the field a lot, but they played well. So I have nothing negative to say about this defense. I'm okay with it. They won't get any complaints out of me. So
I felt like there was a difference in the amount of because back to back you played Jalen Hurts and then you played a really mobile quarterback in Justin Fields, another mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and then like Pat's mobile. He's very fluid within the pocket, and the sack numbers aren't necessarily there. But I feel like this defense is a pressure-based defense. I feel like we're not getting home for the sack numbers, but I definitely feel like we have a pass rush that hasn't been there over the course of the last couple of years.
That's real. Yeah. Well, see, it's like I feel like this might be the game where we actually get to see if we actually have pass rush because like even though Mahomes isn't like quote unquote mobile, but he is a magician in the pocket. So players
And
like that,
he got Hall of Fame last ditch too, because boy,
yeah,
he could be almost in the dirt and that ball's coming out.
yeah. So it's like players like that, you can't really rush them carelessly as you would a more traditional pocket quarterback like we're going to see this week in Carr. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I think maybe the pass rush might come alive because you don't have to be as disciplined with your rush lanes because I mean, yeah, yes, obviously these quarterbacks are professional athletes, so they can still probably hit you for a first down here and there, but you're not worried about Derek Carr going off on you for 40 yards.
Something that I saw, it wasn't in our game. Was it a college game? Yes, it was. It was Shadur. Um, Something that you see traditionally in drop back passers is dropping too deep, and that doesn't allow your tackle to set, and that just puts you right into the rush lane, right? And it was one of the
Yeah,
things that called Shadur out for it. He backed himself up into a sack, so instead of climbing into the pocket, right? And but a good bit of that was from the interior push that was happening in the pocket. You wanted to get away from that,
yeah.
stepped right into a sack from the end, right? And I feel like our interior pressure has been exactly what it needs to be this season. Grady looks great back from injury.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
is
yeah.
flying in there. I haven't seen him lose a step at all. And him in the inside, Judon next to him. Now I will say, and I saw the all twin too, but maybe you saw something different. Where's Harrison?
He's there. It's the deep rotation.
I would
Mhm.
think that, you know, you would see the field at some point.
I mean, I think it just depends on the matchups. Like when you have the variety of linemen they have, they probably like different matches with different types of lines.
Somebody I did see that flashed a lot to me though, Troy Anderson. He
He
looked
look,
good. He looks
mm,
good back from the injury.
mm, I don't share that same sentiment.
I mean, I saw him coming off the edge. I saw him. Now he's never been great in. Well, no, he was actually pretty decent in pass. But
I mean,
like
that's what he is.
he had some opportunities in pass, but he looked good flying to the ball. Um, I really enjoyed watching him.
I didn't. Just going back to the Philly game, he missed a whole bunch of tackles. He's taking poor angles to the running back, taking poor angles to the tackle. He's not instinctive enough. Like there's times where he's putting himself in a hole and then taking himself out of the play because he's not following his instincts. Um, I want him to succeed
Now,
so bad because I'm a Troy Anderson truther, but he has not looked good through these first three games.
I thought he had a very bad game versus Philly, and I thought he had a pretty decent game versus the Chiefs. No,
He
more than
didn't.
decent. I thought he had a good game versus the Chiefs.
mm,
Now, maybe this might be one of those moments where you expect more out of him than the regular person,
Not,
so
not,
you're
not,
judging him.
no. It's not even that. Like I just want to see borderline linebacker play. He's not even giving me that because it's instincts that he lacks. He has all the athleticism in the world to unlock it. It's just mentally he's not there yet. But it could just be reps. He probably just needs more reps. Like he
Mhm.
in terms of linebackers, he's an Anthony Richardson. Like you don't really find linebackers that have that type of athletic profile. 6'4", 235, legit 4.4 speed. He's played running back, he's played quarterback, like he's played all this, but he's not really settled in at linebacker right now. This is his third year playing the position full time. Um, he got injured week 3 last year and had to sit. I would
Yeah.
think just seeing us from the sideline, he would look better, but like I'm not impressed. Caden looks great. Um, but Troy, he's not showing me enough right now. But it's still early in the season, and I think he will get better with time because I mean, given he's 25, but that's still relatively young in football years. Like I think he'll be fine, but right now I have not seen anything that has given me like, oh, he's good. Like I love the athleticism, but I need
And
better in
you
coverage.
know, I
I
fall in love
need,
with that.
huh?
You know, I fall in love with that. Somebody who flashes and looks like they just gonna make a spectacular play. It look
Yeah,
good. It look
yeah,
good.
yeah. But it's like, yeah, you get one play and it's like it's the Richardson effect. He give you one good play and then he'll let you down on the other 10. Like, and it's not like
Man,
he's
that
playing horrible. He's not playing bad. He's not playing good either. He's just out there right now. He's gray matter right now. Yeah,
for me, I think he's somebody who, okay, maybe not a foundational piece, but I don't mind him on the field at all. I don't
no, I
mind
don't
him on
mind
the
him on
field
the
at all.
field just due to his athleticism alone. That alone warrants me on the field. I just need him to be better. And it's not like he's far off. It's just he's missing on the details. I need him to dial in on the details, and that will make all the world of difference. Maybe he needs like a linebacker in that room with him that has done something like that. Um, because like the thing, like we have three good linebackers, even though Lamb is on injured reserve, but all three of them are drastically different. So like, there's not
Mhm.
really much they can pull from each other. Caden is a pass rusher by trade, so they kind of use him all over the place. So
Yeah,
Troy and Caden don't share a skill set. So, and let alone athletically, he's complete. Troy might be the most athletic person on the defense, and I don't think that's a
I
stretch.
don't know. Jesse kind of crazy.
No, in terms of testing, Jesse wouldn't nowhere close. The dude ran a legit 4.41 official.
Yeah, he fast. You see that on tape. He's fast. He
Yeah,
fast. He real fast.
it's like the thing that probably makes Jesse look more whatever is Jesse is more instinctive, so he's more decisive in his movement. Troy's not decisive yet. He's second guessing stuff. I need him to be more decisive. If you're gonna make a mistake, make it at full speed. Don't question it.
I swear you the type of coach that put a battery in niggas' back, and like while you sitting on the bench and you about to get fired, you sitting right next to him. Hey, look, I would have went for the ball too. Like,
No, but that's what all coaches tell you. They say if you make a mistake, I want you to make it at full speed. Don't question it.
yeah,
That, that,
yeah, they
that,
do.
that,
Yeah,
that's coaching 101. He's not doing that. He's not trusting it. He's not trusting his instinct. He's not trusting his homework. I need him to trust his film study. And it maybe the film study he's doing is work for him. Maybe he needs to link up with someone in the offseason who could show him the way that works for him. I
possibly.
believe it's in him. I believe it's in him. I believe he has the talent. It's just he needs the details. Maybe he needs to watch film with Jesse Bates. See what Jesse's looking at. Given they play different
Yeah,
positions, but like a safety and a linebacker in terms of being the quarterback of the defense are one and the same.
yeah. And maybe having an even broader view of the play. Well, one, I think Jesse back there, one, super smart. Two, he basically sees the whole play before it develops and whatnot. And does he gamble like a motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? He be throwing craps out. He hope it's 7 or 11, but he's right a lot of times. He's right a lot of times. So maybe that is what you need. Somebody who's just like looking at it from a different perspective. And yeah, you're one level closer, but like you say, hell, that may be somebody who can speak to you on an athletic level that you understand.
Yeah, but
Um,
I mean, it's still early in the
moving,
season, so
moving,
I think he has time.
moving to the secondary. Somebody I saw that touched my soul when it happened. AJ laid the boom down, and I remember texting you, and you was like, "Yeah, people sleep on how physical AJ is, man." AJ had
Yeah,
a real good game.
no, but like
AJ had a
AJ's been
real,
hitting, and it's like I feel like every time he does one of them hits, people are like, "Oh, he can hit." Like, yeah, y'all just assume he's just a pure cover guy. No, he's physical.
yeah.
That dude, he's not scared. He's not scared of coming up in the run. Like he's not scared of contact. That's one thing I love about AJ, and I don't think that part
And
of the game is appreciated enough.
it looked like they were gonna pick on him at the beginning of the game, but they went away and they started at Mike Hughes for a little bit. Um, In man coverage, I don't think he allowed a pass, and I think it was like 2 in zone. So, like,
I
from what
think
I saw.
between weeks 2 and 3, he's only given up 50 yards.
Yeah, he's the AJ, all pro AJ back, y'all. All pro AJ. You understand me?
Like
Now,
sometimes it takes a
somebody
little
who,
minute, but like with the pieces that you have around him, with Bates and Simmons, it's about to get it. Once this back unit continues to grow cohesively, it's gonna get scary out there.
yeah, now, somebody who gonna challenge you for that all pro, hey, man, McDuffie is nasty.
But
I
McDuffie
got
was
to give
already all
props.
pro.
Yeah, I know he was. That's what I'm saying. Somebody who will challenge you for all pro this year, like, hey, McDuffie he following up. And I know a lot of people, like, if you just look at numbers, or not the numbers, you just look at stats, you be like, McDuffie ain't had no interceptions. Why everybody gassing him like that? Bro, you watch that game, that man is gorilla glue. You understand me? Like, he is, boy, and I don't mean to just, two-hand him, but Jesus Christ, boy, he can play. Masterclass at the corner position.
Speaking of two-hander, you take me back to let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of that Chiefs game. The 3rd and 6 in the red zone. The non-flag. I asked you, what do we got to do to get one of them flags, and you said two knees, two hands, and a lot of spit.
Yeah, hey, 2 knees, 2 hands, and a lot of spit, dog. That's all. Like, you either gotta have Pat Mahomes or 2 knees, 2 hands, and a lot of spit. Because listen, all right, facts. So obviously that's where we get the title from the episode from. So context, right? Put the game in the context. So we were at a position in that game where our defense was holding them legit. Now, there was a mix up on a pass off of a zone, and to be honest, you look at it on film, Jesse was gambling. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Rasheed Rice went right along his face. There was bad communication and passing off that zone. Touchdown. All right, cool. Play as fuck up, right? Like, it happens, right? So Chiefs are up. We go down. We score. For the imbeciles, imbecile is the mean word. For the people that say, oh, you were 4th down in the red zone, you should have kicked the field goal. Then when you have gotten into the red zone again, you would have kicked another field goal, you would have won the game. Let me explain to you why you need to study more. The reason that 3 and out happened, or the reason you were able to get back into the red zone, is because the Chiefs went 3 and out because of where they were on the field, because you failed on 4th down. If you would have kicked the field goal and then you gave the Chiefs the ball at the 30-yard line because they were not allowing returns that game, right? It was a special teams element. You gave the ball on the 30-yard line. You would have been in a situation where Pat Mahomes reasonably could have used 4 downs and would have needed 2 first downs to beat you. And had he punted it to you, you might not have gotten the 2-minute warning, right? If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But you might not have gotten the 2-minute warning, and you would be on your own 20-yard line because they would have booted it to the back of the end zone. You'd been on your own 20-yard line. Now, granted, we just saw Kirk do it the week before, but we also saw Kirk have a really kind of rough game up until late into that 4th quarter. So, with that being said, no problem with the 4th down call. No problem with going for it on 4th down. I didn't like the 4th down call. We'll get to that. But 3rd and 6 in the red zone. Down 5. Don't disagree going for it, because you go for it, then you go for 2, and you make it a 7-point game. There was no world that wasn't pass interference. There was no world that wasn't pass interference. Last week, when the Bengals hit the Chiefs player, it was, I get it. They're the Chiefs. It makes you mad. He got there early. It was pass interference. I was one of the people that said it. Yo, Bengals fans, you can't sit here and complain about it because it was pass interference, right? B, consistent. I don't need no damn NFL 2-minute report the next day talking about, oh yeah, that was a pass. Everybody knew it was a pass interference, man.
Yeah,
And I don't want the
exactly.
person to be like, oh, that needs to be reviewable within the last 2 minutes, or that needs to be reviewable in the fourth quarter. I don't want to be that guy. But like, damn, bro, in what world, what were you looking at that didn't look like a pass interference? That's the part that I'm tripping on. Because in real time, that looked like a pass interference.
Exactly. But yeah. I mean, dude, he never even turned around.
No.
Dude never turned around. Just straight up, just said, "Hey, Kyle, let me get a hug, man. It's been a fun game, man. Let me get a hug, man."
And so in real time, I think the shoot bail I was gonna give him was maybe Kyle touched the ball simultaneous with, like, like the guy grabbed him, and then Kyle was like touched the ball, because the second the ball's touched, pass interference is out the window, right? Like Kyle touched the ball trying to grab it behind him, and the guy was just like, I'm gonna let him play type thing. No. That was not even close to what happened.
Not at all.
Right? And I think the best thing that smaller receivers do in that situation is they really exaggerate that contact came early. Because if you remember the Chiefs versus the Bengals, he wasn't throwing to Rashee Rice, who was a bit of a stockier guy, or Travis Kelce. He was throwing to Xavier Worthy. So it looked extremely pronounced that guy got there early, right? And like, Kyle's a bigger dude, right? And so you're able to play through a lot of physicality. And so you look at it in slow motion and in real time. Even though he's actively getting interfered with, Kyle doesn't necessarily look bothered by the physicality of the play. And he's not one to just sell it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was one of the frustrating things, where it's like, it was an obvious interference, but because our guy's bigger, it's the Shaq thing. He's big, so we ain't gonna call
it. Yeah, I don't agree with that though. It's just,
no, it's BS.
The dude didn't even have his feet down. Like what more do y'all realistically want from the man?
I can't in any world see how that wasn't pass interference. And I don't want to just sit on harp on it, because like, we actually did have the ability to win the game late. Now,
yeah, maybe we did.
We gave Zach his flowers a little earlier. I'm gonna be a little critical now. There's certain aspects of our offense that are still very juvenile, that are definitely hand in hand with him still being a very new coordinator, right? And I think I talked to you about it. Like, Ray McCloud in line blocking down on the DN. What are we doing? What are we doing here, right? Like, certain motions not making sense with the flow of the play. A motion taking a guy out of a route or out of a pass concept on a play action, like essentially turning it into a 2-man route. They're like, stuff like that, where it's like, you're still very green. Right now, one of the things that you pointed out, Kirk does have a bit more flexibility at the line. Some of the motion is truly just meant to be distraction, right? And we don't know exactly what the tells are that they're looking for. All we can do is base it off what we see on film, right? And obviously these guys have forgotten more football than we know. I just know if I'm bringing a guy to the short side of the formation, no one's following him, so I'm checking that it's zone. And then I don't hot route him. And his route, which from the right side was going to be, let's just call it a deep post from the right side. From the left side, now completely blocks off my Z receiver. So I got the X and I got my tight end that's in line. That's pretty much the route concept at this point. And granted, these are two good options. But like I've significantly lowered my ability to answer the question of the defense. In my eyes, that's bothersome to me.
I have no issue with the plays. The plays are fine to me. It's just when he calls them. Because we'll just jump straight to it. The fourth down play. I have no issue with the play itself because the Falcons have showed you who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to. They believe that they. I don't think they believe they're a straightforward team. They're a side to side team. They showed you week one versus the Steelers with the Bijan on 4th and 1 where they ran the toss sweep. The only under center play they had with Kirk. Not a toss sweep, but a jet sweep. Boom. Bijan touchdown. Left to right. I mean, right to left. Boom. This play, the same play. If Tyler Algier just fills the gap instead of trying to find the outside, it's a first down.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
it's more so execution than it is the actual plays. Because the thing is, it don't matter what the play is if it's not executed properly. He could have caught the best play in the world, but if someone don't execute their job, it don't matter.
Which is and that was the fourth down. That was the fourth down.
Yeah.
That was I don't want to get on Algier too much there, but like, and I remember saying this in the live, a fullback makes that play. Like a fullback with a fullback mentality makes that play.
Yeah.
Right? Algier was kind of just like a running back, and he's thinking, hey, let me make sure I seal this guy so Bijan can get to the outside. Right? And then maybe dive toward the first down, whatever needs to happen there. And Bolton you allowed him to come straight through and make that play.
Because if he just gets in Bolton's way, Bijan doesn't have to flatten the route. He can just go at an angle and just find a gap to get the first down.
Hell, you can go right on the no Diddy. You can go right on his back and get the first down. You know what I'm saying? If he fills that hole, you can go right on his back and get that first down.
Yeah, but that play was lost from the start because just looking back at the all-22, Bijan knew it was a rep, but he tried, but the dude grabbed his foot. Because soon Bijan's running, and then Bijan sees Bolton coming. He's like, so he flattens it out and tries to beat him to the sideline, but the angle was too. I mean,
it was perfect. It was perfect angle. Like it was the whole meant for the play. You know what I'm saying? So it was. Hey,
now there is one thing that Bijan I do want to get to. I want to give Bijan his flowers. Last year he was not very good in pass pro. This year he is taking people's lunch.
Boy, what? He cleaned what's his name? Carl Karflakis. What boy? He cleaned him, dog.
He cleaned up Nick Bolton in the hole on the Kyle Pitts play.
Yup.
You go back to the Eagles game, he fucked up Nolan Smith. Like Bijan is turning into a complete back. He's always been in him, but like his pass protection has took a massive step forward. So
I really like seeing that in him. Algier is still going to get opportunities. I think Algier is too good of a back not to allow onto the field. Hell, he was our leading rusher, and he only had seven carries. He had 7 carries.
730 something.
Yeah. So he was our leading rusher. Overall, as a rushing offense, I think we still had over 100 yards. Let me see. 60, 80, nope, 83. The thing coming down the stretch, right? And that's why I said it on the betting pod. I said it on the live. I say it here. I don't care about the rankings. I think that the Chiefs are an elite defense. Their defense, Spags, he is able to curate a defense that is going to shut down most offenses. And then their offense puts pressure on your offense used to put pressure on your offense to score. Right now, they're doing enough to win. But I actually never felt like we were just out of this game because the Chiefs offense was lighting up the world.
No,
Like, there's been a lot of times where, or I'll use the Dallas and the Saints game, right? Or no, the Bills and Jags game that just happened. Trevor Lawrence, there was a really bad interception, right? But the only reason they were throwing so aggressively across, like, with a route, trying to layer that throw over a linebacker in front of a safety in that situation was because they were down 14 at that point in time already.
Yeah.
That Bills offense was putting a lot of pressure on the Jags to score and keep up. Otherwise, the game was going to get out of hand. You make a mistake, the game gets out of hand anyway, right?
Yeah.
Never felt that way with the Chiefs. Never felt that way with the Chiefs this whole game. I never felt like I think there was one drive that me and you both agreed, like, hey, we got to score here, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even think we scored that drive, right? That was the pass interference drive.
Yeah. So just back to something you said earlier about the people about the field goal thing. If they kick the field goal, I would have been upset just purely for the fact is the Chiefs only had 16 yards of offense in the fourth quarter, like 1-6. Like the defense was doing their job. So if you get take that field goal, you Mahomes on the 30, like the defense was doing their job. I was confident that we could have got that ball back, given we had two chances and we didn't do much with either one of them. And as much as I would like to say we didn't win that game because of the pass interference, that's not realistic because games don't come down to just one play.
Yeah, but my thinking on that is, one, we had another chance, but you can't bank on that. You can't. Where we were at that point in the game, you agreed with me that, like, yo, we need to score here. And in the moment, I think, ESPN had it popped up or whatever that it was like a 58% go for it or kick, right? Like it was damn near, like it was close. For me, like watching that game, being in that game, and I think you as well, in that moment, you probably would have been disappointed had we kicked a field goal, right? And then gave the ball back to Mahomes.
I would have been happy that they really came away with points. If the Chiefs, because the thing is, this whole discussion is easy to have our opinions this way because we're speaking from hindsight.
Yeah, because had the Chiefs got the ball back and hit a bomb and scored a touchdown, it's a 2-possession game. Had the Chiefs got the ball back and kicked a field goal, we're in the same predicament. You know what I'm saying? Like, had the Chiefs got the ball back and threw a pick six, we'd be celebrating, and it'd be 27-22, but Patrick Mahomes has the ball with 2 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? Like, and needs a touchdown. So it's so many possibilities. In the moment, it felt right. I don't begrudge him going forward.
I don't have an issue with either one. I'm just saying a field goal wouldn't upset me. Because at the end of the day, we still lost.
Yeah, in that moment, I don't think I wouldn't have been okay with a field goal. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like, in that moment, I wouldn't have been okay with a field goal. And I feel, for me personally, I think we would have lost the game had we kicked a field goal there, either from them holding the ball, them kicking a field goal late, or some sort of situation that left Patrick Mahomes with the ball with 2 minutes left. And with that being the case, I would be on here screaming about the fact that we took a field goal there instead of having the nuts to go for it. Raheem hasn't flinched. He hasn't shown an inch of fear.
Yeah.
His go for it's, to me, through 3 games, all his go for it's have made sense. So I'm totally aligned with that.
Yeah, I mean, but ultimately, we're just speaking from hindsight of what we would have liked to happen. But let's go ahead and jump on to in division. Let's see what's going on with the rest of the NFC South.
Well, first we got to talk about next week. We got to talk about who we facing next week.
That is true.
All right,
Jumping the gun.
Next week, we're facing the Saints. Obviously, the Saints are coming off their first loss of the season to the Eagles, 15-12. The Eagles were able to stifle that offense that was just like running over everybody. And also, that Saints offense might not be good. And I know, not the lights going out when I said that, like heresy. No, that Eagles offense might not be good. And here's why. Carolina under Bryce Young, same situations, right? Same situations. You short fields, offense not putting any pressure on the defense. They were able to run this, like that game got out of hand super quick, ran the score up, right? Dallas might be frauds. And I know Cowboys fans gonna come out the woodworks for that. Dallas might be a fraudulent team, especially defensively, because the Ravens really could have scored 42. Yeah, the Ravens really could have scored 42 on it. Pretty easily they could have scored 42 on. Yeah, they haven't, like Cleveland is inept. Cleveland is terrible, right? But the Saints did you dirty. Baltimore really could have put it on you. They might have a case of the chokes. So I don't know, man. I don't think that Saints offense is that good.
But you also got to factor in injuries. Kind of got them because they lost with 2 linemen, a center and a tackle, I believe. And the Eagles are a good defense.
Eagles are a good defense. We saw that. Right. Well, I don't know. That back end didn't play amazing. Not versus us.
I mean, they didn't play bad either. I mean, it ain't like we just did magical numbers. Like Kirk, we didn't really get it going to that fourth quarter. It was mostly Bijan.
Yeah, it was mostly Bijan. Kamara wasn't able to get off. Kamara wasn't able to get off on them like that. We are also, something that we didn't talk about, we suffered 2 pretty significant injuries. Dahlman and McGarry.
McGarry's day-to-day. Dahlman's on the IR. So
yeah,
I doubt McGarry plays a week, but he's still listed as a starter. In the corresponding moves was to sign up Wilkerson, who was with the team last year, and then they brought Matt Hennessy back to the practice squad. Who, depending on how things go, I wouldn't be surprised if I seen him, getting some center reps at some point during these 4 weeks if things don't go as smoothly as expected. But McGarry should be fine. It's just the MCL sprain, but they said it's more so on the light variety. Timetable on that's about 1 to 3 weeks. Yeah, it looked bad. He got lucky. But it's just sprain. He's practicing, so we'll see. We got lucky with that one. Dahlman had a high ankle sprain though.
Yeah, and that's the bad thing about those zone blocking schemes, man. Is like you're moving side to side, and like you said, man, you just get rolled up on, and it just yeah. But prayers out to both of them. Health and well-being. Health is wealth. Health first and foremost, right? So, this is just a game. At the end of the day, we love it. We talk about it, all this and that. But like as people, hope you're okay. Can't wait to y'all get back and get healthy. But yeah, we've got some issues along the line as well. I wonder how that changes our scheme going into this week and how we attack the Saints line. I don't think it does much. In fact, I think, like we talked about, more practice is going to help, right? Because one of the things that you spoke on was the zone blocking scheme. Y'all kind of almost need to hold hands together, right? Everybody needs to be in sync. And 2 changes in the middle of the game did leave us out of sync a lot.
Yeah. I think ultimately they'll be fine. But the run game did struggle for certain once McGarry and Dahlman went out. So I expect a better running performance next week. But the Saints defense ain't no joke either. So this is going to be a game that probably goes down to the wire.
As most Falcons and Saints games do, and like we talked about on the betting pod, it's a 2.5 spread, right? There's been a trend of the years that we do split, the opposing team wins in the opposing team wins on the road, the years that we do split. I think it's going back like 10 years now. So if
Well,
if we
I need
sweep
to
the
see.
Saints, yeah, if we sweep the Saints, obviously we win both of them. If the Saints sweep subs, obviously they win both of them. But if we do split, we're not winning at home. They're not winning at home. So maybe it's just something to think about. Going in division. So obviously next week is versus the Saints. They just lost versus the Eagles. They're sitting at the top of the division 2-1. The Bucks got manhandled. Got straight up just mollywopped by the Broncos. It was 26-7. It was you just I couldn't tell you, bro. Like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you got Carolina who put the beat down on the Raiders. So that was one of those. Not gonna lie to you. We can spend a little second there. I still don't think Bryce Young is necessarily the problem. Is Bryce Young a functioning NFL QB? Maybe not. But I don't think that Andy Dalton is 27 points better than Bryce Young. I don't
See. This is the thing. Bryce Young has been in the NFL for a little bit over a year and some change now.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, he has seen 3 coaches and 3 different offenses. Andy Dalton been a veteran. He's seen a lot of different offenses and a lot of different coaches, but over a longer spread of time. So he's more equipped to deal with this stuff mentally because, one, he's already adapted to the game. So that he can digest the offense and still factor in the defense because he's seen there's not much he ain't seen. When you got to deal with Bryce, who is still adjusting to the speed of the game. One, I don't want to use the size against him, but he's on the smaller side, so he has different obstacles to overcome with things. But it's not a surprise that the offense is better because Dalton ain't never been no bum.
He hasn't. They just had the ability to draft Joe Burrow. Like that was like he had a bad season. He got hurt halfway through the season. They never put him back in, and they drafted Burrow. Like
Dalton ain't never been no bum. He is a perfectly competent quarterback and it could be a starter as he's showing you. Bryce is just young and I think like I'm pretty sure you've seen that Tom Brady rant about the state of the game when it comes to quarterbacks and how these teams and organizations lack patience when it comes to them. They give up on them too quick. They just throw them away. And like probably one of them examples of quarterbacks that you threw away too quick, like Sam Darnold. People thought he was gonna be a career backup. He's looking pretty good right now. But it's all about giving them time to figure the game out, giving them the right system, the right environment, the right structure. Because I see a lot of people want to say, well, C.J. Stroud is good, but C.J. Stroud also went to an excellent situation. A quarterback, offensive coordinator that plays to his strength, a scheme that he fits like a glove into. Like,
and you want to hear the crazy part, bro?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold is younger than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, by like by a year. Yeah, a year, like a month.
By a
year.
year.
No, a year. Yeah.
By a year. He's younger than Joe Burrow, right? Like Sam Darnold and Lamar are the same age.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, like a lot of people look at it like, oh, this dude didn't pan out in a year. This guy didn't pan out in 18, 19, 20 games. Go ahead, get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the Jets. They got rid of Darnold to draft
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, who is a backup for the Broncos now, and you got a 40-year-old quarterback. Now, granted, had Darnold still been on your team, it would have got really awkward with what you were going to pay him, right? Like, you would have had to figure out that contract situation because you didn't want to get into the Danny Dimes situation. But had you stayed with him, your quarterback, your situation would have been much more solidified than it is now with Aaron Rodgers maybe playing next year.
Yeah.
But then again, would Darnold ever become Darnold? Because, like you said, man, coaching matters.
Yeah, coaching environment, just the belief system. Darnold had to get away from the Jets to build his confidence. And I think that's an understated thing that, like, when these quarterbacks are in bad situations and they start making plays that maybe aren't characteristic of themselves, it's probably because their confidence is shot. Quarterback is one of the, well, just as a professional athlete in general, your confidence is important. And if you ain't got
Yeah,
confidence, you will underperform.
yeah.
So I
I would
think
say
people
that.
need to step back and look at this from like a human aspect. Like, if you're not feeling confident, you're not about to go out and play your best. You're not If you're not feeling confident in your work task, you're not going to perform it to your best ability.
No,
Confidence is what breeds success. And
that's exactly what I was about to say.
yeah, like it goes for every aspect in life. If you're not confident, or you don't have an environment that breathes confidence into you, then you're not going to succeed. CJ Sharp went to an environment that breathes confidence into him. It's still early, but Jaden McDaniels, everyone said Caleb Williams was into a ready-made situation. He don't look half as good as Jaden right now.
You know what they said on the broadcast? They was like, had Washington had the number one pick, they would have still took Jaden. Now,
Yeah,
granted, that's something you can just say. That's nice to say,
no,
but like,
no,
bro,
but
that's really good to hear.
but I legitimately think Jaden was better because, like, bringing it back to the Falcons, you know what the Falcons' number one quarterback was? Jaden Daniels. Penix was only behind Jaden. So
But did they not have Caleb on the board because they assumed he was going one?
no, they had Jaden as the number one, and they knew he was going number two. Jaden was their number one, period. Like, because by that logic, they shouldn't have put Jaden on the board at all.
True, true. But it's not like they
Like,
had Caleb at 3.
huh?
It's not like they had Caleb at 3.
No, but
I think
they
Caleb just was not on their board.
no. I don't know what they had him, but all I know is they said from I forgot who it was, but the dudes plugged him with the Falcons. He said Penix was the second overall player on their board, period, only behind Jaden Daniels.
No, Jaden looks good. Like you said, there's confidence there.
Because
There's
the
swag
thing
there.
is like with Caleb is still playing like he's in college. That's not going to work. And I think when you're evaluating the quarterbacks, I know we get on a little off base, but let me just finish this so we can move on. When you're evaluating these quarterbacks, you want to look for translatable traits. Jaden Daniels' game, playing from the pocket, playing on time, that's translatable. Caleb Williams did not play on time enough. I think he'll get it. He just needs time. But Caleb's biggest thing was he held the ball too long trying to buy time. And he looks a lot like when they had Justin Fields because Justin Fields held the ball too long.
It does look a lot like when they had Justin. I think I'm not a Bears fan, and I'd be interested to hear from them. I ain't plugged in with any Bears fans actually. I'd be interested to hear from them how they really feel about Caleb around midseason,
Yeah.
right? Like, I give it some more time because I think the shine will run off on Justin a little bit. Right now, you got a little bit of buyer's remorse. They're 3-0, you're 1-2. Everything's wrong, right?
Yeah.
But like, just get it to the midseason, and like Fields maybe has 300 rushing yards and around 900 to 1,100 passing, and 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns, and you're like, and Caleb over here has very few rushing yards, maybe under 100, right? He's got maybe 12, 1,300 passing yards, three touchdowns, and 9 picks. I'd be real interested to see if people are still really, really happy about what the future holds.
I mean, I think the future is going to be fine. It's just Caleb has to adjust his game for the NFL because I remember watching the Houston and Chicago game. Um, and they were saying Caleb was like, "Oh, I actually hate having to run out the pocket to make plays. I'd rather play from the pocket." That's not what your body. That's not what your play style says. Because a lot of times you bail from the pocket unnecessarily. So I don't think.
He was another one. He was another one. Caleb will run into some sacks. Now Justin behind that same line ran into some sacks. We're not gonna rewrite history. Justin behind that same line used to run into a bunch of sacks. But Caleb, well, he running into a bunch of sacks. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you have a pocket and he's not trusting it and stepping up into it.
Because like I remember I was talking to my one of my buddies about this like during the draft season, and we was talking about quarterbacks. And like I was saying, like I don't know if you seen the movie Draft Day, but I was saying that Caleb Williams got a little bit of Bo Callahan in him.
Here you go. Here you go. Ain't nobody come to his birthday party. God damn, man.
No, but it's like that, and it's just some things that he has to clean up. I think with the right coaching, he'll be fine. I think he's talented. He does things that other quarterbacks can't do, but he needs to reel it in and know when to do it, instead of just trying to force the issue. Because sometimes I feel like he's trying to force it. Like he might have someone open, but like that throw on the sideline, he threw it in a triple coverage. Given,
It made no sense. It made no sense.
yeah, given like I could see the vision, but that still was a bad read.
So so looking into the division this week, you got the Panthers versus the Bengals, right? I think the Bengals get their first win of the season.
Maybe.
I see them getting their first win versus the Panthers. It might be close, but if the Bengals go 0-4, we can just go ahead and count them out. No team has ever gone 0-3 in the Super Bowl since they expanded the playoffs. No team has gone 0-3 and made the Super Bowl. Most teams that go 0-3 don't even make the playoffs. They go 0-4. That's the death knell. They're just in for a bad season. Doesn't matter if
I
it
can
turns around.
see. I see Travis Hunter in Cincinnati.
Ooh, top 5 pick.
Yeah, cause that's what they're looking like right. They're looking top 5 bad right now.
Then yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And damn, all right, look, because I know we're going time over. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is playing like somebody that y'all played with his money.
Yeah, he pouting.
He is. Pouting's such a strong word, but like, yeah. Like he definitely like y'all play with my money, so like I don't really care.
So like
he doesn't.
See. This is Jamar Chase right now. Jamar Chase went from being a player that meant to the guy that does just enough so they don't get fired.
Yep. I'm gonna show up to work, so y'all can't say I didn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna show up to work on time. Sometimes I'm gonna be a little late, but I'll be here.
I'm gonna use that point system. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna use that point system.
When the points roll over, okay, cool.
Yeah, when you throw high across the middle, that's gonna be an incompletion. You understand me?
Yeah,
that's gonna be
that was a business decision. My bank account said I can't go get that.
Yeah. So the Bengals, I do think they get their first win, but the Bengals versus the Panthers. If the Panthers win that game, they're 2-2. The Eagles play the Bucks. If the Eagles win that game, the Bucks are 2-2, and then that means that the Falcons Saints game is for first in division.
Yeah.
Based on NFC losses very early in the season. So like definitely got to win to keep pace. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you guys have listened to the series as well. After the first 4 weeks of the season, most of us had the Falcons at 2-2. So definitely want to bring in this game. I think we may have been a little fool's gold with how the Saints looked early in the season, but I think this game is a pretty good barometer for both teams on where the season's going to be headed.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll cut City Talk today. You guys hit us up. We might just go ahead and make that whole nother episode, just like a city talk topic. But you guys
we
follow
we
us.
technically already got in there a little bit with the dream talk. So
Yeah, we did. Just did on the front end, right? You guys follow us on Instagram and YouTube at BOAF Media, and then follow it. That's also the same page on Facebook, BOAF Media, and then Apple and Spotify. Catch the pod, right? Tune in to Instagram after every Falcons game, and then once basketball season starts, after every Hawks game, and we will be going live. Give you about 15-20 good minutes of just a quick recap. That's when you get the raw emotions. You get us screaming at each other and whatnot. So tune into that, you guys. Subscribe to the YouTube so that we can grow that and we can go live on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for listening. Know we went a little over an hour, so if you stayed this late, appreciate you. This is me, your boy Q City.
your boy Taj Bravado.
And we out.
Peace.
El Chapo, looking like I hit the lotto. I want a hottie like mulatto. I'm on here and she on Moscato. I'm in them good till tomorrow. I'm a robber for the Neros. Yo, little lows, I'ma put you on payroll. You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party, yeah. Papa Corona, she moving the body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency. I wake up early every morning. Thank the Lord and get the bag. Hustle hard, get the cash. Stack first, then I'm showing my ass. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency.
My babies, that's who I grind for. That's who I do it for. Like the Navy, that's who I'm toting that iron for. Keep one in the head like a thought, nigga. Yeah, I fuck with Ty, he a boss, nigga. Foot on their neck, I exhaust, nigga. Niggas cross me, so I cross, nigga. No stripper was lit last night. 500, what it cost, nigga. Shit was really legit last night. Had them hoes at the house, nigga. Instagram, Snapchat, Triller. What they say about Jay, he a go-getter. Used to have them fat sacks in the grove, nigga. Late nights, early morning, my dough, nigga.
You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party, yeah. Papa Corona, she moving the body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20